Rabba Jaffa. I said it correct, Rabba. What does it mean, Rabba?
What does it mean, Rabba? So it means that I have received rabbinic ordination from 3 rabbis who I trust, and I was their student. And they, in the last few years, have been started to ordain women officially in the Orthodox community. There are some women who have already had Orthodox ordination 20, 15 years ago. But now there is an institution that is ordaining women officially with smicha, with hasmacha l'rabbanut, with rabbinic ordination, and I'm one of those women.
Most of the time when we think about a rabbi, we think about a rabbinate that is the wife of the rabbi.
Right.
And that's, but she is the person in charge of the woman of the community,
right.
But it's still the wife of the rabbi.
Right.
You're not the wife of any rabbi.
Right.
So what's your function? How do you speak with men? How do you speak with the woman in these cases?
Okay, great. So I'm primarily a teacher of Torah, and I teach in lots of different places, a lot of limuds, a lot, Pardes, which is where I work permanently, is a co-ed Beit Midrash, which has both men and women. I've been teaching there. It's in Yerushalayim, it's in Jerusalem, but we are now moving, Be'ezrat Hashem, we're now moving into North America, and I'm heading up that project. But I've already for many years been teaching men and women Talmud and Halacha and Jewish law and Jewish prayer. So I've already been teaching men for a long time, and I have a lot of male students. So I relate to both men and women, I think, equally in the same way that I have been in the past.
What do you think is the difference between being a woman or being a man when you teach Torah or when you teach these Jewish laws?
It's a great question. So I don't think there is a difference. I think that the beauty of Torah is that we are able to, each person is able to connect in their own way, and when they teach Torah, they're able to teach it in their own way. So I think lots of men teach Torah very differently from each other, and lots of women teach Torah differently from each other, and I don't think that there's necessarily a woman's way to teach Torah and a men's way. There's a Yafa Epstein way to teach Torah, and the same way that there's another rabbi's way that they teach Torah, but every single person has their own way, and it's not about male or female, in my opinion.
You are here at Limud in Mexico. You are going to talk to us about Torah, about Judaism, about a lot of things here for people Jewish and non-Jewish. What is Jaffa's point or way to teach Torah? Because it's the way Jaffa has its own.
Yeah.
What's Jaffa's?
So what's very important to me when I teach Torah is that every single person in the room is invited into the conversation. You know, some people when they teach, it's a lecture. If you come to my sessions, you'll see that it's actually a conversation. We're going to look at specific pieces of the Talmud. In each case, it's going to, both sessions are going to be Talmud focused. And the Talmud, I feel like I keep talking about it, but the Talmud is this very important central code of Jewish law and Jewish conversations that's taken place for many, many hundreds of years. And we're going to look at these original texts, and every single person in the room is going to have a chance to look for themselves and say for themselves what they think about the text. That's the kind of class that's important to me.
Tell me an example of what you teach, what you saw in one special point of this Talmud.
So one thing we're going to look at is a woman named Bruria, who was a woman who lived in the time period of the Mishnah, so the end of the 2nd century, and she was a rabbah, she was a rabbi, she was a teacher of Torah, and we're going to see all these stories where she interacts with different rabbis, and they listen to her, and they take her opinion seriously, and so we think it's such a new phenomenon that there are women who are Torah teachers and Torah leaders, but really we have in our texts examples of women who have always been learning and always been teaching Torah and had their own students who were men. So I think it's very interesting.
Sorry to come back for that, but I'm sure there's a different way when a woman speaks about Torah and when a man speaks about Torah, because they have a different vision, and more a Jewish woman, because we have been living for so many years in a way that men is the one in charge of studying, woman is in charge of teaching. It's very interesting because men are learning and then they teach, and women, they are the experts in teaching the kids. So it has to be a different way. Maybe you focus more on the woman's part of the Talmud. Or maybe.
You know, it's interesting. I actually love the whole Talmud, not just the women's part. We're going to look at in the first session, Rabbi Akiva, it has to do with women, but really it's about Rabbi Akiva and his own journey. So I don't only teach about women in Judaism or women in the Talmud. I think it's also very important for women teachers to teach about lots of different areas. For me personally, one of the things I love to teach about is Hilchot Shabbat, is the laws of Shabbat, which is not necessarily about women, but it's about the whole Jewish community.
Well, they go a lot with women because they are the ones who have to make this dinner for Shabbat. They have to turn on the lights. They have to candles. There are a lot of laws that are especially for women in the Torah.